Delighted to be joined on Mobile World Live by Yossi Sohar. Yossi is from Enterprise Cloud Service Player, ServiceNow. Yossi, great to have you with us.
Great to be here.
Now, of course, Yossi, it's the era of 5G. And with 5G comes new technologies such as mobile edge computing, Open RAN, and secure access service edge, to name but a few, really. From a business perspective, Yossi, what are telecom providers looking to achieve when they are looking at rolling out these new technologies?
So what's on every telecom CEO's mind are three things, basically. Number one is creating great experiences for customers that will attract new customers, but also retain and grow on the existing ones. And this is not new. That's been always like that. But the other one is cost cutting. They're basically asked by their boards to cut their OPEX severely, billions of dollars every year, in order to mitigate the erosion in revenue from their traditional lines of business. But the last thing every CEO wants to do is to lay the foundation for future business models, and things like multi-access edge computing, 5G, that will basically power the future IoT use cases, or open radio access network, can help them either create or unlock new addressable markets, new revenue opportunities, or actually cut costs.
So with that in mind, I mean, what are the most critical considerations, Yossi, that telecom providers, they need to bear in mind when they're planning to roll out these new technologies?
So first of all, let's not forget that these telecom providers have to still manage their legacy network technologies. It's going to be a hybrid network while rolling out new technologies, virtualized networks, software-defined networks, and so on and so forth. So when they launch, or then when they roll out the network, they need to streamline that orchestration of the 5G network equipment in order to accelerate time to market and accelerate the monetization of these networks. And this is side by side of still having to do their quote unquote day job of maintaining the rest of the network. So they will not only monetize, by the way, these networks in a direct to consumer or direct to business use cases, meaning selling fixed and mobile connectivity to businesses and consumers. They're actually trying to create a B2B2X ecosystem by rolling out these technologies. And that will allow them to create new revenue streams. And that's why it's so important for them to accelerate the rollout. But that has to be done in a smarter way moving forward.
Yeah, you absolutely touched on an important point there, Yossi. I mean, 5G means that there are many new players in the value chain, especially given the opportunities that 5G enables for enterprise companies, IT companies, and then, of course, as you said, their own customers. Do you have any advice on how telecom providers can really help to ensure almost a frictionless experience, if that's possible, in this new ecosystem?
Yeah, so in this new ecosystem, definitely both the partners, the B2B2X partners, and the end customers will not tolerate disruptions. Imagine an autonomous drone that delivers, goods from an e-commerce provider to people's homes, and all of a sudden there's no connectivity. That could basically collapse the whole value chain. So we need to make sure that the services are not just fulfilled, but are also assured that the connectivity is intact. And if there is an issue, the issue is detected quickly and fixed as quickly as possible. As I said, this whole value chain will not tolerate a telecom provider that does not provide that frictionless or minimize the any disruption. So in terms of assurance, there is a lot of data that telecom providers have on their network traffic, events, and so on and so forth, alerts. And it will only grow because of this ecosystem that will use more and more the connectivity. So telecom providers need to start using artificial intelligence technologies to sift through the data, detect issues and the root causes that lead to these issues, because sometimes you get a lot of alerts, but there's one alert that actually triggered the whole issue. And then also understand the impacts on their partners and the end consumers of the technology, so they can start becoming proactive in fixing these issues.
Yeah, it seems that telecom providers, they almost have to strengthen collaboration, not only just on their supply side, but also on the demand side of their ecosystem as well. Yossi, is that a big challenge? I mean, how do they do that?
Yeah, so definitely there's supply side and demand side partners that will be growing exponentially. MEC is basically IoT. There's, as I said, B2B to X ecosystem of other companies across industries that will embed connectivity in their offering. Open RAN is a different kind of standard that will basically democratize the radio access network. So basically, telcos will start working with multiple suppliers, and that will lower their costs, but will also create a headache to work with a lot of suppliers. So we see the need here to digitize the workflows that of telcos working with these different partners, because there will be more of them. And so they need to be able to handle both supply side issues, orders, issues with the equipment, and as well as demand side issues, allowing their partners to order connectivity in bulk, buy slices, when they start rolling out network slices, and so on and so forth, but also handle incidents across the value chain. And so today they're struggling, all these partners are struggling through partner portals, but those are antiquated, cumbersome, and are not always self-explanatory. So there's a need to connect these business partners directly, and enable seamless workflows across companies.
What would be your takeaway message from this interview, Yossi? I mean, tell us a little bit about ServiceNow's philosophy in terms of helping telecom providers really capitalize on this big 5G opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So in a nutshell, our market-leading workflow capabilities help telecom companies digitize workflows across many parts of their business. We can help them connect disparate BSS OSS silos. For example, most telcos have multiple network inventory systems, multiple monitoring systems, multiple fault management systems. So we can provide that system of action to connect these, to provide a connective tissue and basically drive action. But our platform also helps connect siloed teams, or even siloed systems within the telecom company. For example, network operations is often not connected to customer care, or front, middle, back office, and even field service are not connected. The teams are disconnected, and as a result, it's more labor intensive, and things take longer, whether it's an issue that needs to be resolved or whether it's an order that needs to be fulfilled. And finally, we have a new feature called e-bonding that helps multiple companies to collaborate to create digital workflows, as I mentioned, across companies in a value chain. So that allows them to streamline those workflows and work faster together to, again, either resolve a customer issue or a network issue, or to accelerate monetization.
Great to get insights into ServiceNow's strategy. Yossi, thank you very much for sharing that with us. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.